What is happening, Animal Crossing fans? Dan here, and we are at another town in Animal Crossing Gamecube Edition. I made this whole video highlighting how to get to another town and what it entails, and I had some really cool fun moments, and I realized I wasn't recording the video. So, here we are, round 2. Hopefully this time it all works out. So, I discussed a few things in my original work, but this time around, let's just talk about the town and how you get there. So, this is the GameCube edition. Mind you, the GameCube did not have internet connection. It did not have Wi-Fi. It did not have all the fancy smanchy stuff that the Nintendo Wii had, the Switch has, the Wii U. It didn't have all that fancy gizmo technology. In order to go from one town to another, you needed something called a memory card. In fact, you needed 2. Now, memory cards are kind of like USB drives. You know, it stores the game's data, and for each memory card, there would be a different town. And the GameCube had 2 memory card slots. Slot A was your memory card. Slot B was another memory card slot. So if you wanted to visit another town, you had to have that memory card on hand. For me, I have multiple memory cards. I like having multiple accounts, multiple towns, because every town is different. For one thing, these mountain ranges that, you know, if you go from level to level, like you see here and then here, every town has a different set of mountain ranges. Every town is arranged differently. Every town is just unique. So that was the one thing. I wanted to find that perfect town. You know, that's why I have so many memory cards. Memory cards are cheap too. They're only like $8 now. But what I would do is I would create multiple towns and which one I would think is the most unique, and that's the one I would stay at. Regardless, here we are. It is March 2018 in this town. In my town, it is April 2016, so it's interesting how we jumped ahead by like 23 months. So it's just one of those things. But here we are in this town, and I'm looking for a really rare fish, a big fish, and I kind of talked about it a little bit in the last video. It's this humongous fish. It's supposed to be the biggest one in the game. It starts with an A. I really don't remember what it's called. I can't pronounce it, but yeah. So before we end this video, we're going to discuss a little bit more about how we travel to and from towns, and I will show you how you get from town A to town B. But for now, we're just going to fish for a little bit because there's some fishing to do. And more importantly, I'm going to discuss fossils because I kind of went over it briefly in the one of the last videos. But fossils in Animal Crossing GameCube is very interesting. Just like in all the other Animal Crossings, you dig up a fossil just like this, and you got the fossil. You don't know what it is until you have it inspected. But the problem between the GameCube version of Animal Crossing and all the other versions of Animal Crossing is that in this version, Blathers, the owl at the museum, doesn't have his license to examine fossils yet. So he doesn't know what the fossils are. So what you gotta do is you gotta mail them out, send them to the museum, and wait a full day until you could actually get the fossil back. I know, it sounds like a headache right there, and you have to be patient with it. Because, like I said, you don't know what it is, he doesn't know what it is, and you just gotta wait for it, you know? That's one of the things about this game, about patience, you know. You learn much from patience. I have not seen a single fish in like the past few acres. There's a fish, but it's probably something I already have. Unfortunately, my town and this town have a very similar season going on. It's spring, so I'm feeling that a lot of the fish are gonna be very similar. Except for the dace. There's no daces in my town right now. But let's just see, maybe, just maybe, we could find that rare fish that I'm looking for. Or just something that I could make a good profit off at Nook's. Just something to satisfy me with this trip. Or at least justify this trip. Because I came over here, I just came over here. Hoping it'll be different. I had no idea what the date or time was going to be in this town. I really should maybe change it to the fall, just so then you guys could kind of see the difference between the seasons. Because this is, like I said, the exact same season as my town. So there's nothing really unique about this right now. Yes, I hit the fish. It's going to move. Oh, come on. Man, but this takes me back. Just my childhood right here. I spent so many days just playing Animal Crossing. I remember when I first started playing this game, I was a total novice. I didn't think you could change the time in this game. So the time, like right now, it is 3:39 a.m. I would think we'd have to play at that time. There's no way we could do it. And then my brother Scott showed me, hey, you can just change the time on here. And that changed my whole world. Because I'm sure people actually did play the game as it was intended. You know, it's like, okay, this is the time you have to play. You have to play it day by day this season. You know, you can't skip ahead. That's cheating kind of deal. But after I found out you could do this, obviously that's all what I did. In Wild World, I manipulated the time on my DS to change with the game. And I remember I played at 3 a.m. summertime. Always August in the summertime. August isn't in the summertime, but I mean August at 3 a.m. every day, because there were rare bugs that would be like 12,000 bells or 10,000 bells, and that's all I would do. I would play at that time, get some rare bugs, catch a scorpion or two, and sell it to Nook. That's all I would do in the game, and I made a huge profit. I paid off my house and everything. I think I got about 1 million bells saved in my bank account at the post office or the town hall. But yeah, it was just so much different than what it is here. Because in this game, in GameCube version, I have to show you guys in the next video, you can use cheat codes to get certain items or get money, get the golden equipment. Because it made things so much different in this version. But you know, a lot of things about the GameCube version are different, but a lot of the things that are different about this version carry over into the other games. For instance, you know, the fishing, fossils, you know, a lot of things carried over. But more importantly, I think the one thing that really carried over was the fact that you can make friends with the animals and everything like that. And in fact, they really improved that in the next few games. All right, so you know what? Let's do this. It's getting late. Getting a little bit into the end of this video, so let's do this. Let's head back to my town. I don't know if you heard that, but I found out that if you listen closely, you can change the rhythm that plays every time you talk to a character. So listen to this. I changed it to the Harry Potter theme. Listen. Pretty interesting, right? Now, I know some of the other versions of Animal Crossing can do that too, but that's one of the many examples that I'm talking about. Like, the GameCube version obviously is much different than the other versions, but this is something that, you know, carries over to the other games, and, you know, other games kind of, you know, look back at this, and, you know, just little things like that. You know, a lot of the games have some similarities, and that's one of those similarities. Now, I kind of briefly talked about this at the beginning of the video, but in order to travel from town to town, you have to go to the train station. And the train is kind of like the bridge between the two memory cards. So, you know, you board the train and you go back home. Now, it's always unique and fun to visit a person's town. The only problem is it's one player. Unlike Wild World or City Folk, you can play with people online, but here you can't. You know, if you're bringing your friend's memory card over, the person in slot A is the only person that can play, and they have to visit slot B. And that's the kind of annoying thing, because like my brothers would be sitting around me just watching me play, and I'm like, well, sorry guys, I'm going over to this town now. And it's like, but they can't play. The characters can't actually meet each other. It's just sad. So here we are heading back to my town, you know, and this is kind of like, the train is kind of like the loading between the two towns. So after you get the whole loading process done, you get visited by this cat, and he's in Wild World and in City Folk. I don't know if he's in New Horizons. I don't remember. I haven't really played the game much. I've seen some clips and footage. I don't remember if I've seen him in anywhere. But yeah, that's odd. You know, it really makes me think, the first time I met you, you were pitiful looking. Huh? What? That's mean. It was fun. Yeah, sure. Duckville is always a blast. So let's pull into Walk Bend. By the way, people have been asking me, what is Walk Bend? My wife and I are the only players in this town. and I come from a town called Walkersville, and my wife comes from a town called South Bend. So we combined it to make it Walk Bend, just to kind of, just our towns. So here we are back in my town. There's our statues, and yeah, here we are. So just like where we left off for the last few videos, thank you for watching, everyone. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next week for another Animal Crossing GameCube video.